What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. And today we're doing another recap. It is The Penguin, Season 1, Episode 7. And this is, it still has audio description. It's still International Visual Center, still Dakota Green, still Red Leach. There's a really cool article in Variety that actually pointed out how this was like a mostly blind team that was working on the audio description for The Penguin and how good it was. And the fact that audio description cracked into Variety is fucking amazing. So that's what's happened since episode 6 to 7 is that we got like a little bit of high press focus on accessibility, which is rare. We did get some for Bridgerton and the accessibility on that, but it's amazing to see that it's happened for The Penguin, and congratulations to everybody who's worked on The Penguin's audio description thus far. It's been fantastic, and I've had absolutely no problems following the show. I do have problems remembering cast members' names, but that's just because I'm also watching a ton of shit all the time, and I could just start throwing in characters from the other 30 shows I'm watching. It just be like, well, George and the Penguin went off and they teamed up with Daryl and they, I don't know. But this picks up right where episode 6 left off. And in the aftermath of that, we don't actually see the attack, but Oz comes home, and he finds his mother missing. His dude's on the floor. I'm surprised that he's alive, but I guess he's alive to be able to warn Oz for 2 seconds of like what's to come. So Oz gets him out the window and tells him to get the gang together, the gang that he also got together at the end of episode 6, rally the troops, that kind of thing. He's got a plan and he's really banking on it. He hears cars outside, he knows what's coming, and he's gonna face it because he has to, because it's the only way he's gonna get his mom back. So Maroney's guys bust in, and eventually Sal's got a golf club and he's beating Oz, and but Oz can't fight back because he doesn't know where his mom is and he doesn't know how to get her back at this point. So he's basically just taking it. He's taking the blows. And all of this is happening around the same time we get a flashback at Oz, and sort of that, like, where there's something that interesting that is said later on, like, when was the monster created? And we see that with Oz and his backstory, which is completely different than how he was created in the comics. As a rich kid, they've given him a completely different narrative for this version of Penguin. And he's the middle of 3 brothers. He's the one that's like, I don't know. I don't actually know what his kind of disablement is in this. They're not really specific, but it does show him being a young kid with like a limp and stuff. Like he's still got his whatever it is happened to him also early on, like from birth or whatever. So he has an older brother and a younger brother who aren't complete douchebags. They're not like, I'm not gonna say the older brother is like great, but definitely an overreaction from from us. So they go out and they get this $50 from this guy and for their mom, and the older brother has it, and then they go play tag and Oz is it, and then they hide in a place that's difficult for Oz to get to, so he just closes the door and leaves them there, which basically leaves them there to die. Like, we see it starts to rain and the water keeps coming in and they can't open the door and get out. So we basically know what happens. He killed his brothers, they drowned. So he didn't go back for them. It just shows him sitting there with his mom watching Top Hat with like Fred Astaire, and just enjoying being alone with his mom. Such a mother's boy, which I guess puts it into perspective as to why Oz is so focused on getting his mom back, and why, her big ask in the last episode about, you know, getting rid of her, killing her before she goes completely senile, was so painful for him, because the one humanistic quality he still retains is with her. The one person that he could actually never really hurt is her. Um, at least he thinks, like, in his mind, technically what he did hurt her. He just doesn't see it that way. So it's very interesting, and I love Francis's performance in this episode. Deirdre O'Connell, who plays Frances, is definitely going to get a supporting actress nomination for the show. I think her work, when she finally gets in there, uh, she gets into the Falcone mansion, and she's sitting there, and she has some great moments, and opposite uh, the the new head of the Chacones, and she's like, "You changed your name, but you're still the same plays." And Oz knows the plays, crack, bliss, heroin, all the same thing, basically. And she's so effective that she actually changes Sophia's way of looking at life and her approach to running a crime family. She's like, God damn, your mom's right. I am actually doing the same thing. She has to go to Arkham and sit with Mia, and who remembers that she had a gas mask and in her bag, and so she wonders if Sophia killed her parents, and she lies. It was basically the same thing her dad did. So I mean, she's having this huge crisis, and she's got her trusty therapist there. Basically, I mean, also she finds out around the same time that Sal, who has decided to overplay his hand by forcing Oz to take him to the place where they're making bliss, and while Sal's people do get to kill, like, I don't know, like 2 of Oz's guys, like right off the bat, they still get overwhelmed, and Oz ends up killing Sal. And he does that thing again where they call, and the person thinks to have the upper hand, and then Oz is like, "No, Sal's dead. Sorry, you keep underestimating me." you know. So finally, the Maroni family is just non-existent anymore, which is kind of a big family for the Batman series. And he's about to get rid of the Falcones. We'll see how that all works out in the finale. But Sophia has one last play to make, and it's the fact that she still has the mom. Mom's still alive. Frances is still alive. She's trying to have her therapist work on her with his like various therapy and try to pull what knowledge out of her that he can. And they go to a club, and there's a really intense sequence with Penguin and this car. And honestly, it was what I thought it was, but I kept thinking, I was like, it can't be a bomb because they can't blow up Penguin. The show's not over. Even if you were going to end Colin Farrell's run as the Penguin in a TV show and not let this go for multiple seasons, or allow him to come back for a film sequel, you're not going to do it in episode 7. This isn't the finale. So I didn't believe for a second that Oz, who by the way is the closest one creeping to the car and who's the one who opens the doors and stuff, was about to get blown up. So when they revealed the dynamite in the car with a timer on it, I was like, of course it has a timer on it. It gives him enough time to get away. I thought it was clever that she put his mom's robe over it, though, so that he would think that maybe it was his mom that was in the car. Yeah, that was a clever twist, and Sophia definitely was hinting with her phone call to Oz you know, that there was a gift in there, and Oz was worried, like Sophia, you know. But no, Sophia's playing a different game. She's got her mind on something else. She's set on something else, and that's the only way that she can beat Oz is by playing a game that he doesn't know how to play. So we'll see how that works in the end for her, and whether or not she comes out on top or not. But Kristen Milioti has been fantastic. Deirdre O'Connell, Colin Farrell. I think all three of those people deserve Emmy nominations handily, for sure. At this point, so I would say at least one of them has to win. Like, there has to be an Emmy win here. I don't know the competition yet, so I don't want to strike out and say it. But if Colin or Kristen doesn't win, then I don't know what happened to the TV season. It's an excellent show. It's one of the best crime dramas we've had in years. So, and I think the audience numbers reflect it. It's been growing with every episode. And I think HBO, if they can order a second season of this, they will. And like I said, I love the audio description, so hopefully the same team would come back and do another season. I think Ren Leach has been doing an excellent job. Dakota's an excellent writer. And there wasn't a moment here where I was like, what? Excuse me? So I'm going to give The Penguin season 1, episode 7 an A. I liked it. And I've liked pretty much every single episode of this season of a high quality. I think this is the best thing I'm watching right now consistently, week in and week out, especially on the dramatic side, especially if I remove all comedies. If I split it like the way Emmys do comedy and drama, it's definitely the best drama I'm watching right now. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please click like and subscribe because I'm a whore and I need that. And I will see you guys on the other side next week for another recap of The Penguin.